Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. If you're like me and you want to retire early, like I did in 2022, at the age of 52, after 12 years of investing, because I didn't start until I was 40, there are some things we're going to have to stop doing, like lying to ourselves. These are some of the lies that I hear people tell themselves constantly in my circle of friends who haven't retired early, and I don't think they will because of these lies that they keep telling themselves. And so this is going to be a nice short live that I'm trying to make for those people who would never click on a 2-hour video. But if you want your questions answered during a live stream, every Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific here on this channel, I do a live stream that lasts generally as long as the questions do. So in this video, I want to talk about some of these lies we tell ourselves. The first one being, I don't care about money. Do you know how many times I hear this? Usually from somebody who doesn't have any. They say, I don't care about money. I don't want money to run my life. I don't want money to be the thing that makes me make all of my decisions. Yet you still work 40 to 60 hours a week at 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 different jobs in order to make that money. So stop lying to yourself. One of the most important things we can do with money is make it not matter. And this is a quote from the sports ball guy, who I always forget the name of. But when you don't have enough, money is the only thing. So if you don't have enough, yes, when you fill your car, you're thinking, how much can I put in and still be able to pay the cell phone bill or the internet bill or eat tomorrow? But when you have enough money, money becomes just a thing. After reaching financial freedom and making work optional and walking away from my W-2 where I left $2 million in golden handcuffs, the last thing I ever actually have to think about is money. We focus on it for 5 to 10 years to make it not matter. But once it doesn't matter, our decisions are based on what do I feel like doing. When we go into a restaurant, we don't look at the menu and think what prices make the most sense. We think, what do I feel like eating? What on this menu sounds good? And we get that. So if you're one of those people who thinks money doesn't matter, I think you're lying to yourself. Doesn't make me right. It's just what I think. The second thing is, only rich people can retire early because rich people are lucky. You want to irritate a rich person? Because sometimes that's our goal. Tell them how lucky you think they are. Like, oh, it must be so nice to be you. You're so lucky. That's great. Michael Zuber from One Rental at a Time loves being told how lucky he is. Put that in the comments sometimes and see how fast it takes me to block you. As I think the moderator on his channel, it's my job to make sure that stupid things don't get through and waste your time. Luck, yes, there is some factors there. Are you born in a country that gives you the ability to progress? Are you in a war-torn country where you don't have a lot of options? Some people, and based on 2 different studies, one from the book The Millionaire Next Door and one by the Ramsey Group, who actually does some good work no matter how much I pick on them, studied people who were millionaires or multimillionaires, and about 12%, the average from both studies, inherited their wealth. There is some luck there, trust funds, inheritances, whatever. But that means 88% of the wealthy are self-made. And remember the definition of luck. When preparation meets opportunity. And if you lie to yourself and you say, well, all rich people are just lucky, you will never do the preparation to be ready for the opportunity. So much so that you'll never even see the opportunities when they come or know how many you missed. If you don't do the prep, you won't be lucky. When preparation meets opportunity. Another thing I see a lot of people make the mistake of is, I don't want to invest because it's too risky. But a lot of people still play the lottery, not understanding the risk there, which we actually call a tax on the poor, because it seems like the poorer you are, the more money you spend on the lottery. The more of my friends that I know that don't actually make a lot of money say things like, well, I buy lottery tickets whenever it's above a certain amount because that's my retirement plan. Let me know how that works out for you, Skippy. Imagine the risks with investing, right? If you went out and bought single stocks and you are not, smarter than everyone else on the planet, you're going to be part of the 80 to 90% of day traders who lose money in single stocks. But if you use dollar cost averaging and you buy a well-diversified index portfolio that has a little bitty parts of a bunch of different companies, all of a sudden the risk doesn't go away, but it's mitigated. If you invest in real estate like I do, and you diversify your portfolio by having properties that are at least 10 miles away from your other ones, and you have 1/3 military, 1/3 Section 8, and 1/3 working or retired tenants, and you diversify your tenant types, there is risk in investing. You could lose some money. There is a guaranteed loss of money if you don't invest. You guaranteed will not gain any of the possible gains that can come from investing. So yes, there's risk, but don't lie to yourself and say, investing is too risky for me to take. Not investing is too risky. My favorite lie that people say all the time, and I know a lot of people who end up in this situation because they lied to themselves for 50 years of working years. I'm going to say these words out loud and I'll have a nightmare tonight. The government will take care of me. Yeah, couldn't say it with a straight face. I tried. Social Security, a pension, or your retirement plans aren't going to have you have a comfortable retirement. Even if Social Security, it doesn't become insolvent, as it is planned to do in 2034. Planned to. They'll find a way. They'll increase the tax. They'll create more money, which yay, more inflation. So I don't think going insolvent is going to be the problem. I just don't think it's feasible in most American cities to live on $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And then your retirement account, most of them that I experienced running a company, the people who had retirement accounts, empty them out long before they retired. You have a birth in the family, kid go to college, want to buy a house, go through a divorce, some death in the family, something, you're like, oh, got a good reason to take my money out and use it. So it's not going to be there as a retirement account. And when they say the average person has X amount of dollars, that's because some, when we use average or median, means nothing. We need to know the mode. What is the most common number in retirement accounts? The most common number, far above 50%, is 0. Because a ton of people don't have retirement accounts. And then 1/3 of people who do have the option of having a retirement account aren't using them. So the mode is 0. So there are a lot of people lying to themselves who aren't even contributing to a retirement account, who are planning for Social Security to hopefully be there. It isn't going to be enough for you to retire or retire early. And those are tied to age, which is also a mistake. And tell me about all those pensions for the municipalities and the companies that go bankrupt. And you're no longer getting 100% of what you were working for, vested for, and expecting. A big lie that a lot of people tell ourselves is, I'll invest for retirement when I get closer to retirement, which I would associate and tie to, I'll invest for retirement when I make more money. Let's talk about the incredible amount of lack of intellect it takes to make this statement. People do not start saving when they make more. Those are the people who have life creep. People who learn to save when they're not making a lot, save more when they're making more. When they build the habit when they're not making a lot, meaning literally when you can only figure out how to set aside $1, now that it is measured, it can be improved, you will learn to save more. I would not lie to yourself and say, I'm going to save when I'm older, or I'm going to save when I make more. Saving when I'm older is how we end up with, and you can Google this statistic because GTS answered a lot of the questions, 48% of Americans have 0 saved for retirement between the age of 55 and 65. And yes, it's a little harsh to say, what level of lack of intellect does it take? I'm talking about lies that are making people work into their 70s. I'm going to be a little harsh in this video because I'm making this for help, for everybody here on YouTube that'll watch it, hopefully benefit from it. But I'm actually making this for a couple of my friends who say these lies to me, and I'm sending this video to them as well. And if they're still my friend after me being harsh, it means they're probably going to have a better retirement, or even have a retirement. To tell most of these lies, seriously, you're going to be offended by me saying lack of intellect by saying the government is going to take care of me? Have you met the government at any point? There's a reason why when you go into the Department of Licensing, the DMV, there has to be a sign on the wall that says it's a felony to threaten us because we're going to be so bad to you, you're going to want to threaten us. It's not exactly what it says, but it's what it means. 48% of Americans between the age of 55 and 65 who are literally on the cusp of retirement age, which I don't like to tie it to an age, but it is tied to an age in this case, have zero saved because they said their entire life, the government will take care of me. I'll save when I make more, or I'll save when I get closer to retirement. If you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s, stop saying those lies. Start now. Be like the Cody Davises of the world who could retire pretty much before they could buy a beer. The last thing that I want to wrap up with, lies people tell to themselves. Lies I told myself. Most of these lies are lies I said to myself, not the government one, because I'm going to be even harsher and just block my channel, because if I'm harsh and it bothers you, you're not going to benefit from this content. I'm not retarded. That's why I didn't say the government will take care of me. People who say, and I said this often, I'm going to work until I die. That's a solid plan. Worked for my dad. He died at 75 on a job site. Work until I die. Here's what you're missing in that lie you're telling yourself. What if you can't? Go to any retirement home and think, okay, the people that are here, who, yes, it's going to be me someday. I'm going to go to a home because I'm going to have a paid professional take care of me, not my kids. I saw how it worked out with pets. I want somebody that knows what they're doing. And think, how many of these people here could work? Because there are people in this situation who didn't save, made it to retirement age and had zero save for retirement, thought the government was going to take care of them, and can't even be in a retirement home. What if you're a truck driver? As part of my career, I was in the Marines, law enforcement as a truck driver, and I'm in truck driver. What if you can't get your med card? What if something develops with you medically and you can't get a med card? Now you're still physically able to work, but you lose the thing that was making you mostly a six-figure job. You're in law enforcement. Anything can happen on any given day and you lose your job. What if the work that you do is outsourced? You know, car manufacturers that moved away from Detroit, went to other countries. Yeah, industry came back, but it wasn't working in cars. What if AI replaces what you do? So not only can your body fail, your industry can fail, the work that you do can actually go away. You can be one of the best brokers at a lending company or one of the best real estate agents that there are. And then we have a crash in real estate transactions because we have high prices and high interest rates. And we go from having 6 million plus transactions in a year to 4. So we lose a third of the transactions. And yes, the best agent probably going to be okay. But the best broker doing lending, their income's also based on how the company they're working for does. Your industry can change and you might not have the ability to work until you die. So when we come into things like this recession that I expect we have been in for a couple of years and are going into, based on how you look at the data, the person I worry about the most is not the person with investments, the person with a stock portfolio who loses 20 to 30%, the person with real estate who maybe doesn't make as much money as they thought they could have. My concern is for the person that has the job, that is saying things like, I don't care about money. I'm not lucky like the rich people, so I don't have to do anything. I have an excuse to not take action. Investing is too risky. The government will take care of me. I'll invest when I get closer to retirement. I'll just work until I die. That's who I'm concerned for. Stop lying to yourself. Even if you don't want to retire early, figure out how to put money to work just in case you need money when you no longer can work. And I'm going to go through the live comments later and figure out who I offended with saying it was unintelligent to know that the government was going to take care of you. You're not going to like the rest of my videos either.